everyone, welcome to another episode of Book Club Picks. I'm going to talk about 4 more books that we've read for my afternoon book discussion in the past. The first book is The Whole Town's Talking by Fannie Flagg. We read this one probably a couple years ago. If you read Fannie Flagg books, they're usually a little folksy, little, have different characters, odd, unusual characters. This one was very strange. It's the story of this town and the people that pass away, and then they all go up to the graveyard up on the hill, and they're still characters. Like, after they've passed away, they talk to each other. All of them start showing up in this graveyard, and they, the people of the town can't see them, but the ones that are, dead and gone, they talk to each other, and it was really different. And then all of a sudden, the people in the graveyard, they start disappearing too, and the other dead people can't see them, and it was a little bit weird. So you find out in the end what happens to them, and it's kind of made me roll my eyes a little bit. So I don't know. This wasn't her best. We read another one, and I know a lot of people like her, but this one it was okay. It was just kind of one you had to get through. So wasn't my cup of tea, but others may like it. Just a little bit different. So the next one we read, I enjoyed this one. It's The Dressmaker by Kate Alcott. I love the cover. It's a really pretty cover. And it's the story of Tess. She's on the Titanic. In the beginning of the story, which that doesn't sound like a very encouraging start, but she becomes the personal maid to this very wealthy dress designer. It's Dressmaker. And this is really what she wants to do. She wants to, make clothing and, get into that industry. So, so she does become her personal maid. And when the ship starts to go down, they are saved. That's not a spoiler or anything. You kind of know that from the cover of the book. And they get back home, and I didn't know that there were trials. There was an investigation into the sinking of the ship, and her employer is charged kind of with I guess putting her life before others, and so she actually goes on trial, and this is a true story. And I thought that was really interesting about the book. And Tess is kind of torn between, this woman who's kind of getting her a step up in the world, and, this horrible thing she's been accused of. And there's 2 love interests, and, she has to make a decision. And it was really good. I liked the historical parts of it, something that we had never really known about the trials. So we had a good time discussing that. So we did like this one. And we actually read another by her that was really good. I think it's the Girls of Lowell. I think that's the name of it. I can't really remember. But so she's a good author. I like her. The next one, The Supremes at Earls All You Can Eat. This was a funny story. It's about these 3 friends, African American ladies, growing up. And Earls is this diner that they, kind of their home away from home, where they always met at. And, they still live in this town together and still meet at Earls. And it just kind of takes you through their past. They all have situations they're facing now. And just about the friendship between the 3 ladies. And just how they get by. So, the language we didn't really like. There was a lot of language in it, but it was funny, And it was kind of interesting. You know, there's a lot of different characters in it. So it was, mm, we liked it on one hand, and on the other, we didn't like parts of it. So it's kind of a toss up, but it was an enjoyable read, and it's kind of a quick read too. It's not a, you know, see that it's not a super long book, but so it was different for a change. Okay, and the last one, we just read this one this past year. It's Dear Mrs. Bird by A.J. Pearce. I really enjoyed this one. Set during World War II in England. This right here, she's Mrs. Bird. She's gets a job. She wants to be a war correspondent, but she gets a job at a magazine and becomes the self-help, the lady that women write to about household, you know, tips and different things like that. Definitely not what she was, the position she wanted. But through these letters, you know, there's some that are called, you know, that they don't respond to if they have to do with certain subject matter, you know, things they didn't talk about back then. And she decides, though, to respond to these letters, and it's kind of the aftermath of what happens when, you know, she gets involved in these lives. And it's also really interesting because it takes place during the raids, the bombing of England during World War II. And the characters, there's firefighters, and they work. I'm trying to think of where they worked. They work in like at the fire station, I do believe, and I guess they answer calls and stuff. So it's the story of these people trying to live in, you know, these normal lives during all these raids and bombs exploding around them, and so that was a really interesting aspect. I really enjoyed it. I liked this book. It was good, and I heard that she's going to write a sequel to it. I'm not sure when that's going to come out, but I'm kind of looking forward to that. So, okay, so those are the 4 books for today. We would love to have you, after all this pandemic stuff is over, come join us at my book discussion. We meet in the afternoons on the 3rd Wednesday of the month in Ironton, and there's more information at the end of this video. We'd love to have you. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.